CBS.com.
The heat in serious negotiations to trade Shaq at 11.
Campaign 08. CBS News Super Tuesday coverage continues. Here again is Katie Couric.
And good evening, everyone. The polls are now closed in 21 of 24 states voting this Super Tuesday, the latest and biggest stop on the road to the White House. And New York, it's a heck of a win for Republican John McCain and Democrat Hillary Clinton, though expected win. CBS News estimates McCain and Clinton have won the biggest delegate prize of the night so far. It is, of course, Clinton's home state, and McCain got a big boost from former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani when he endorsed McCain. CBS News projects McCain the winner in 4 winner-take-all northeastern states. Remember, it's all about the delegates: New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Delaware. Plus, he takes Oklahoma, a very conservative state, a good sign of his ability to attract conservatives, as well as Illinois. Mitt Romney, as you see on the map, has 2 states in the early going. The former governor of Massachusetts gets the Bay State, plus winner-take-all Utah, with a heavy Mormon population. No huge surprise there. Mike Huckabee gets the state he once governed, Arkansas, as well as Alabama and West Virginia. McCain, the frontrunner coming into this night, is way ahead of the competition in delegates won tonight. Now to the Democrats. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Clinton is doing well in the Northeast. CBS News estimates she's taken New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. Obama got the Kennedy endorsement, but in the end, Clinton got the state. She also takes Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. Meanwhile, Senator Obama has captured 5 states, his home state of Illinois, plus Kansas, Alabama, Georgia, and Delaware. All the Democratic delegates are proportional, no winner-take-all states tonight. And here's the delegate breakdown in the early going. And we'll remind you again, there are not enough delegates at stake this Super Tuesday for any candidate to clinch the nomination tonight. But what happens tonight could go a long way toward deciding who does get it down the road. I'm Katie Couric, and I'm joined tonight by Bob Schieffer and Jeff Greenfield, as well as Scott Pelley, who's usually at his perch over at 60 Minutes, but he's helping us out following state races. And Anthony Mason is telling us about exit polling tonight. And it's very complicated, but we cannot emphasize enough that the Democrats, their formula for doling out delegates is like advanced placement calculus.
The best I can do is this. Republicans do this like poker. You win the state, you get most or all of the pot. The Democrats treat it like a cake at a kid's birthday party. Let's be as fair as possible so that McCain wins New York, he gets every delegate. Clinton wins New York over Obama, she might have 5 or 10 delegates more than he because they divide it up by proportion. You can win 60-40 in a congressional district, and you'll get 2 delegates, and your opponent will get 2 delegates.
Right, they have these weird thresholds, right? You've got to get a certain number of votes.
63% in some, and 57% in others.
Yeah, and by the way, in a 3-delegate race, if you get 51%, you get 2 delegates, the other guy gets 1. So it's better to get 51% in one district than 60% in another. And, just email me at IHaveNoLife.com, and I can explain this in greater detail.
You know, I think the bottom line here, though, is we're now seeing it may be a month or so. It may be all the way to the nominating convention before we know who's going to get the Democratic nomination.
Do you think that's true, really?
I do. I think there is now a possibility of that. And if it gets to that, here we will be arguing about those delegates in Michigan and Florida that so far haven't been counted. It may be one of these old-fashioned which delegation are you going to seat at the convention and all of that kind of business, the credentials committee, all those thrilling stories of yesteryear that we used to cover.
And the before Super Tuesday's even done.
I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. I'm saying there is that possibility, though, because I don't think we're going to have a decisive winner here tonight on the Democratic side.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Bob, but before Super Tuesday's even over, they're looking ahead at critical primaries in February that seem to favor Barack Obama, and then on March 5th, which seemed to favor Hillary Clinton. So it goes on and on and on. Let's go to Dean Reynolds, who's covering the Obama campaign, and he's been working over the campaign staff. I guess that sounds a little ominous. Dean, you've been talking to campaign staffers there, and they have a prediction for you?
Well, they think that when the dust settles, Katie, they will be within 100 delegates of each other, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. They say that they're going to be harvesting these delegates all evening long. They're looking especially at the caucus states. There are 7 of them. Obama visited 5 of them. They look They look very good for Obama. And they believe that this race is far, far from over. And one has to look at the Democratic Party rules and conclude, at the very least, that Barack Obama is being kept in this race by those rules, by that proportionality. Katie?
Reynolds, Dean, thank you very much. Looks like things are filling up. And are the campaign surrogates showing up now? Because you said they were not very in evidence a little while ago.
The aides are here. They're talking up a storm now, trying to spin this as a big, if not a win, at least a good night for Obama, and that this was an evening that was Hillary Clinton's to lose. Katie?
All right, Dean Reynolds, thanks so much. And we'll be back with much more on this Super Tuesday right after these messages.
Since 1845, we've been taking care of the most important people in the world, so you can feel secure knowing that you've done the right thing by providing for their future. New York Life, the company you keep.
Get ready for an explosion of indescribably crunchy, cheesy flavor. It's the new Crunchy Cheesy Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. Who else could make crunch and cheese collide? Cheese baked right onto the crust for a crunch that unlocks a flavor shockwave. Try one now for just $11.99. Want to win the Ultimate Sports Lovers Package? Go to describethecrunch.com. Get more, not less. Pizza Hut. Order online.
So apparently a hotel washed their linens in the new lavender lilac scent from Gain to help their guests relax a little. I guess with Gain's lavender lilac scent, relaxing moments can be awkward moments too. New Gain Lavender Lilac Moment Detergent. Could you use a moment?
Hello, may I help you?
Yes, Clyde and Keith to see Emmett Smith. Emmett, your gray facial hair has put you in a rocking chair.
Your beard is weird.
Your stash is trash. Oh, it's bad.
Just for Men Gel penetrates tough gray and puts it away in 5 easy minutes. His edge is back.
He's right on track.
Backfield in motion.
He moves and grooves.
He scores.
Just for Men Gel.
Keep your edge.
The day that I had a heart attack, I was on the 7th hole, the furthest point from the clubhouse, and I was laboring, carrying the golf clubs, but a golfer does not leave his golf clubs. I take aspirin now because I enjoy living, and there's a lot more living that I want to do. Talk to your doctor about aspirin in your heart.
Aspirin is not appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
I shanked it. My oldest daughter just got married, and I want to live to see my grandchildren.
The agents of New York Life are some of the best trained, most knowledgeable professionals in the industry. Of course, they'd say it's not about them. It's about taking care of the people who matter most to you. New York Life, the company you keep.
Tonight on a Super Tuesday Late Show.
I wish that John McCain a great deal of luck. I'm telling you, at my age, I'm just happy to see a president who's older than I am.
Catch Matthew McConaughey.
We see you a lot with your shirt off, and I'm just,
Plus Sheryl Crow and the top 10 ways to make Super Tuesday more exciting. And tomorrow, Dave's all new with winning Super Bowl quarterback and MVP, Eli Manning.
CSI New York is all new and all weird with killer toilets. Spacemen?
Houston, we have a problem.
New CSI New York, CBS Wednesday.
We're back at CBS News election headquarters. We have 2 new projections to make that should make Barack Obama extremely happy tonight. We project that Barack Obama is the winner in the state of Connecticut. This is a big win for Senator Barama. Apparently, he resonated with white, educated, upscale voters in the state, which has a strong anti-war sentiment throughout the state. Ned Lamont, who is an anti-war political figure there endorsed Barack Obama. He's the one that forced Joe Lieberman to become an independent in the Senate race. Also in North Dakota, CBS News can now estimate that Barack Obama is the projected winner in that caucus state, endorsed by Senator Kent Conrad there. 2 good wins for Barack Obama, particularly in Connecticut, because it is in Hillary Clinton's neck of the woods. Meanwhile, Mike Huckabee is speaking to supporters right now in Little Rock, Arkansas. Let's listen.
I really do look forward to nailing the going out of business sign on the front door of the IRS. And when we have the fair tax, a lot of small business owners and individuals will finally have a fair shot at getting a part of the American dream. We're here tonight and winning states across the South because we've stood for the idea that mothers and fathers raise better kids than governments do, and government ought to undergird a family, not undermine a basic family's rights to raise their own kids. And that's one of the reasons we're here tonight. We're here tonight because people want to know that the president is going to secure our borders and make it so it's not more difficult to get on an airplane in your hometown than it is to cross the international border, and that we're going to fix an issue that the federal government is allowed to go unchallenged for a long, long time. We're here tonight because a lot of people in the South and across America know that the Second Amendment is to be respected as much as the First Amendment, and they know that there's only one candidate who has a consistent record of making sure we do that. And one of the reasons that we're here tonight is because there's no candidate who has been more consistent and clear about the fact that we should honor the words of our forefathers who said all of us are created equal. And that means that every single person has intrinsic worth and value. And we should uphold the sanctity of human life because it is a cornerstone of our culture of life. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I believe that one of the things you're seeing across this nation is that people are saying the conservatives do have a choice because the conservatives have a voice. And tonight,
that was Mike Huckabee, obviously reveling in his showing so far tonight and once again reiterating his conservative credentials. Anthony Mason has some polling results about why Huckabee has done as well as he's done so far tonight.
Yeah, Katie, as we mentioned, Huckabee's strength, of course, came in the South today. He won 46%, nearly half of the evangelical vote in the South. How did that happen? Well, when we asked Republican voters in the South what the most important quality in a candidate was, 56%, more than half, said they wanted a candidate who shared their values. Where did those voters go? Mike Huckabee. 62% of that shared value vote went to Huckabee, an overwhelming win among evangelicals. Katie?
All right, Anthony Mason, thanks so much. Meanwhile, let's go back to the Democratic side and talk about this significant win for Barack Obama in the state of Connecticut. Obviously, he was helped by white, upscale, educated voters who seemed to be part of his natural base, at least in the primaries leading up to Super Tuesday. What other factors were at work here in your view?
I think in this case, actually you've touched on a lot of them. That anti-war strain in which Ned Lamont beat Joe Lieberman in 2006 in the Democratic primary carried over. One of Barack Obama's strongest arguments is, I was always against the war, she voted for the resolution, and is temporized. I think in a state like Connecticut, it had particular resonance because that state's Democrats are powerfully anti-war. Chris Dodd, their senator who ran for president briefly, had a very strong anti-war message as well. And I think that probably, as much as anything else, helped him enormously there.
And he campaigned very hard there. He devoted a lot of attention to that state because he knew it would be important, especially because it was in Hillary Clinton's neighborhood.
That's right. Well, Hillary Clinton won Massachusetts earlier, but turnabout is fair play with Barack Obama winning in next-door Connecticut. Jim Axelrod is covering the Clinton campaign. And Jim, have you gotten any reaction on what's a pretty disappointing loss, obviously, for the senator tonight?
It is disappointing, and naturally the Clinton campaign is downplaying it. A senior Clinton aide tells me the loss in Connecticut was expected. Why, I ask? Because Barack Obama had been leading there for quite some time. But the fact of the matter is that at the outset of the evening, the Clinton campaign said that 2 states on the East Coast they were watching most closely as a barometer of how the night would go were Massachusetts and Connecticut. They've split. That may give you some indication of where it's heading. The other state they were looking at, Katie, was New Jersey, which of course Clinton won. One point I want to make about New Jersey. The Clinton campaign says they won New Jersey on the strength of Latino turnout. That may give us some sense, if that's the case, of how the states out west, Arizona, New Mexico, and California may go a little later this evening. Katie?
All right, should be interesting. Jim Axelrod, Jim, thanks. Meanwhile, Scott Pelley has some interesting information about the state of Connecticut.
Well, Obama picks up a big one in Hillary Clinton's backyard, so how did he do it? Well, have a look at this. As you might expect, Obama cleaned up among black voters. 69% of black voters went with Obama, just took those voters away from Senator Clinton. But have a look at this, something you might not have expected. Obama wins among white men. 54% to Clinton's 40%. 53% of the voters in Connecticut also said they felt that Obama could unite the nation.
All right, Scott Pelley, thanks so much. And we'll be back with much more, many more Super Tuesday results right after these messages.
To help avoid dental problems, my dentist gives me Act Restoring Mouthwash.
Act restores minerals to soft spots and strengthens enamel up to 2 times harder.
My breath is great, and so are my checkups.
Act Restoring Mouthwash, the one dentists believe in.
Life's better together. This Valentine's, go Outback, where ahi tuna is seasoned and seared. The steak's juicy.
Let's go Outback tonight.
This Valentine's, let go.
Life is better when together.
Go Outback.
I want a hybrid that fits my life.
I want to grow my fuel, not drill for it.
I want a hybrid my family can afford.
I want a car I can plug in.
Americans want something better, and so do we. Today, it's high-mileage cars and trucks, E85 ethanol-capable vehicles, and new hybrids. Tomorrow, it'll be Chevys powered by hydrogen and electricity.
We want a better world.
Chevy, from gas-friendly to gas-free. That's an American revolution.
So we got a sitter for 3 hours.
And we went to buy carpet at Lowe's. Turns out they got this great new way to buy carpet.
So easy.
We went for the Berber.
And cranberry?
With a 20-year warranty. Isn't that great?
So do you want to see a movie or what?
You bet!
New Lowe's Carpet 123. Just pick your style, your color, and your warranty. Lowe's, let's build something together.
Right now, get all-inclusive carpet installation for your entire house for just $199.
So here you are, a little confused. Did you think the road to retirement was an expressway? Come on, this isn't some random road trip. Your dreams are out there somewhere. You can't start this journey without knowing where you're going. You, my friend, you need a plan.
Find out why more people come to Ameriprise for financial planning than any other company. Visit us at ameriprise.com/plan.
In my work, I depend on my eyes to capture the natural wonder of this planet. That's why I wear Transitions lenses. To see better today and tomorrow, they adjust to changing light to reduce eye strain and fatigue and help protect my eyes from UV damage, like sunblock protects my skin. You can replace a camera, but you only have one pair of eyes.
Ask your eye care professional today about Transitions lenses. Transitions, healthy sight in every light.
CBS next Tuesday. 16 people will move into the Big Brother house.
But they're in for a big surprise.
What, are you kidding me? We've matched each house guest with a soulmate. They'll sleep together.
Oh my God!
Compete together.
Oh!
And if they're not careful, be evicted together.
Nobody could have seen that coming.
And that's just the beginning.
Don't miss the season premiere of Big Brother. CBS next Tuesday.
Welcome Welcome back to our Super Tuesday coverage. 3 U.S. senators and 2 former governors competing for their party's presidential nomination. 4 of the last 5 presidents were either former governors or sitting governors. When they were elected, we haven't had a sitting senator elected president since John F. Kennedy in 1960. One other, Warren G. Harding, back in 1920. That's a little history, but here's what's happening tonight, which I'm sure you're a little more interested in. When it comes to the Republican wins and losses and delegate counts, John McCain is the leader of the pack in yellow, 242 delegates, picking up Oklahoma and Illinois, doing extremely well in the Northeast, helped by Rudy Giuliani's endorsement. He picks up New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Delaware. Mitt Romney, the former governor of Massachusetts, wins there tonight, as well as the state of Utah. He's very popular there, not only because there's a high Mormon population, but because he spearheaded the Salt Lake City Olympics back in 2002. Meanwhile, Mike Huckabee doing well in his home state of Arkansas, Alabama, and West Virginia. Again, the delegate count, 242. Mitt Romney has 45. Mike Huckabee has 48. Now moving to the Democrats, though, it's all over the map. Literally, we can see Hillary Clinton has picked up Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, while Barack Obama doing well in Minnesota and North Dakota, 2 caucus states, as well as Kansas. He picks up his home state of Illinois, 2 important southern states, Alabama and Georgia, and Delaware and Connecticut. He's doing well with white male voters. There seems to be a gender gap emerging tonight. So far, 318 delegates for Clinton, 269 for Barack Obama. 8 races remain. Meanwhile, we can project that Barack Obama is the winner in the state of Minnesota. 72 delegates at stake there. And Bob, this is a good win for Barack Obama. Is that a caucus state?
It is, and it's a very strong anti-war state. There was a very strong anti-war movement there, and I think probably that the polls are going to show that's what did it for him there. Again, a great organization in a caucus state. And
lots of money to spend organizing. Meanwhile, let's go to Anthony Mason, who's got some polling data on what Democrats are looking for in their candidates in terms of qualities.
Right. Katie, we heard that word change an awful lot in this campaign. Well, when we asked Democrats what the most important quality in their candidate was, what shows up? Number 1, 52%, a candidate who can bring change. A distant second with 22% was experience. Now, so where do those change voters go? Of course, that was a slogan that Barack Obama used. He wins that vote 69% convincingly. But on experience, Hillary Clinton wins even more convincingly. 9 out of 10 voters who thought experience was the most important quality went for her. Finally, who can unite the country, we asked Democrats. Obama with the edge here, 52%. Hillary Clinton with 38%. Katie?
Thank you, Anthony. We've heard those words, change and experience, over and over again. As you can see, Hillary Clinton racks up points for experience, Barack Obama as the change agent. Ultimately, which is more important, do you think?
One of the things that I think is going to help her is that for a lot of women who are turning out in large numbers, the fact that a woman might be president is a change. She herself has said, don't you think that would be a huge change? Where Barack Obama has closed the gap is convincing a lot of people, saying, in the Democratic Party, saying that's not enough. We're talking about a more political change. I think that's the struggle on which this fight for the nomination keeps going on.
The Hispanic vote is still very important and will become more so as this evening wears on.
All right, we'll be watching some key states where the Hispanic population is high, like New Mexico, Arizona, as well as the state of California. They should be very telling. And we'll be back with much more on this Super Tuesday right after these messages.
Find the perfect gift at Zales Valentine's Sale. Get our Journey Diamond pendants for the lowest prices ever, like this 1 carat, now just $5.99. At Zales, the diamond store.
I got through menopause fine, but my skin took it rough.
Gold Bond Ultimate Healing Lotion, 7 intensive moisturizers and 3 vitamins.
Now my skin looks as young as I feel.
Can your lotion do that?
Gold Bond Ultimate Healing. This stuff really works.
So far ahead, its intelligent CVT transmission redefines smooth acceleration. Its dual-panel moonroof brings light to everyone. It sees traffic in real time and controls your iPod just like an iPod. so far ahead, the rest of the world will have to catch up. Introducing the future of the crossover. Here, now. The all-new 2009 Nissan Murano.
This Friday,
Roscoe!
going back home is never easy.
It's gonna be a long weekend. He started it. Ah! It got in my mouth!
Freeze! Good morning, Reggie.
Martin Lawrence. Welcome home, Roscoe Jenkins. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
A lot of people are like, aren't you too young to invest in the markets? And, you know, A, don't worry about it. You know, I just look young. I mean, you don't know how old I am. And B, I use E-Trade, so check it. Click. I just bought stock. You just saw me buy stock. No big deal. I mean, you know, if I can do it, you can do it. Whoa.
It's so easy. There are 1,000 new accounts a day at E-Trade.
These 10 superfans.
I've been watching Survivor since the beginning.
I've always been a huge fan of Survivor.
This was just going to be another day at the beach.
Are going to take on the all-time favorite castaways.
Be careful what you wish for.
It's the most intense Survivor competition yet.
I'm the superhero of the group.
I'm hot-headed. I have a commitment to winning the game.
Behind the sweet Texas dimples, I'm fiercely competitive.
Will the fans beat the faves?
Bring it on.
The new Survivor premieres CBS Thursday at 8/7 Central.
And we are back at CBS News Election Headquarters. I'm Katie Couric, chatting with Bob Schieffer and Jeff Greenfield. I know it's terribly premature, but people are still talking about possible vice presidential candidates. I know, don't roll your eyes, Jeff. We've heard that Mike Huckabee, by cozying up to John McCain and helping him siphon off some of those conservative voters from Mitt Romney, may want to be vice president. Do you think that's the case? Do you think he has a shot?
Well, I think he'd certainly be considered, and I'm certainly the McCain campaign would tell you that he's going to be considered because they're obviously indebted to him right now. I think other names that come to mind, Jeff and I were at a lunch today, just a bunch of reporters sitting around talking about who might be possible vice presidential candidates. The name Colin Powell came up. Two old soldiers, McCain and Colin Powell.
That would be a pretty formidable ticket, wouldn't it?
Well, presuming that his wife Alma would let him, and presuming also that
which she won't.
Yeah.
Presuming also that the Republican right would not want a pro-choice vice president, since they think McCain has to make nice to them. But this is really the subject. This is for people with too much time on their hands. It'll be happening for the next few months, and when they finally settle on nominees, my own feeling is that McCain has a fairly limited, assuming he's the nominee, has a fairly limited roster to choose from. He has to be okay with the right, and he has to convince people that the guy's ready to be president because McCain is 71.
This is what people who log in onto IHaveNoLife.com talk about. All right, gentlemen, thanks. We'll talk about the Democratic choices maybe a little later on, and we'll be back right after this.
Coming up at 11 on CBS 4 News.
What's the most endangered species in South Florida? Some say it's the middle class. Tonight, an in-depth look at the latest trouble in paradise. What's driving people to leave the state?
And look at this amazing picture. Desperate parents make a frightening move to save the life of their baby. We'll see how the high-flying infant is doing tonight.
Also, Michael Williams wraps up the Super Tuesday primary. I'm Antonio Mora.
And I'm Shannon Horry. It's all coming up at 11 on CBS 4 News.
Heart attacks and strokes can be reduced with positive lifestyle changes. Eating right, daily exercise, not smoking will reduce your risks.
This heart health tip is brought to you by CBS Health Watch and the Heart Institute at Florida Medical Center, healing heart, body, and mind.
Learning to drive is very serious. It's not like one of your video games.
Camera's got Bluetooth, so I don't even have to hold the phone.
Listen, son, I'm trying to explain something to you.
Wow, it's got a nav system. This is gonna be so easy.
No, it's not easy. It's not like you push some magic button and you're off.
What's that?
The Toyota Camry. See it to believe it.
Why don't you get out of the car? Shut the door.
Now get $1,000 cash back on new 2008 Camry LE models. That's $1,000 cash back. Toyota, moving forward.
My fellow Americans,
It's the President's Day event at Ashley Furniture Home Store. Enjoy no interest till February 2010.
I promise style, the best selection. Promise you saving. I promise.
We design, build, and deliver our furniture, giving you presidential size savings with our Ashley Direct prices, plus no interest till February 2010.
I promise quality furniture at a price you can afford.
At Ashley Furniture Home Store, we keep our promises.
The heat and serious negotiations to trade Shaq at 11.
CBS News Super Tuesday coverage continues. Here again is Katie Couric.
It's Super Tuesday, not the Super Bowl, so we may not know who the winners are at the end of the night. But here's the score. Barack Obama has picked up 8 states to Hillary Clinton's 6. But remember, it's the delegates that matter. Republican frontrunner, meanwhile, John McCain is doing very well, taking 4 winner-take-all states in the Northeast, 6 states in all. Mitt Romney has 2 states in his column, Utah and Massachusetts. Mike Huckabee, who's won 3, vowed tonight to press on. So when it comes to the delegate count, let's take a look at the touchscreen in front of me. We can see that John McCain currently has 333 delegates to date, Mitt Romney 80, Mike Huckabee 55. Nowhere near, by the way, the 1,191 needed to clinch the nomination. Governor Mike Huckabee is standing by in Little Rock, Arkansas. Governor Huckabee, first of all, do you think you're more than a spoiler tonight? People have used that word to describe you recently.
Well, you know, I think we're proving tonight that we're a choice for many, many conservatives, certainly across the South, where really the conservative and Republican base is. And we've not only won in West Virginia, Alabama, and Arkansas, but we're closing the gap, and I think we'll win in Georgia before it's over, hopefully in Tennessee and Missouri. So it's a good night for us, and it's a way, maybe a great way for us to remind people that maybe Mitt Romney was right. It is a 2-man race. It's just that I'm the other man in the race.
Let's talk about your case against Senator McCain, because it seems, Governor Huckabee, that the two of you, John McCain and you, have really been sort of pitting yourselves against Mitt Romney. Now, if you come out ahead, it may be you against John McCain. What's your best case against the senator?
I think it's going to be an honorable race between the two of us. We both believe that politics ought to be fought like gentlemen, and we've done that, not only with each other, but I think with our opponents. I believe it would be focused on the fact that we both have uniquenesses and differences we bring. We're different on the immigration plan. We differ on things like embryonic stem cell research on humans and the Human Life Amendment. There are many things about which we agree, but I think it's going to be the kind of contest that politics should be about. Honest, clean differences, but also presented in a way in which it's not about attacking somebody, it's about presenting your own platform.
But Governor Huckabee, haven't a lot of conservatives and conservative talk show hosts and radio hosts really kind of crucified you for a variety of reasons, for raising taxes, for proposing college tuition for the children of illegal immigrants? You have your own problems with the conservative members of your party, don't you?
You know, some of the people in Washington, maybe I do, but out here in the real world, you know, I'm not the choice of the Wall Street Republicans, but I am of the Walmart Republicans. And out here where people believe government ought to get off their backs, leave them alone, let small business thrive, want to see the tax system change, get rid of the IRS and implement the fair tax, those folks are with me. Those are real conservatives, the kind of people who believe that mothers and fathers ought to raise their kids and not governments. I believe in lower taxes. I believe in a strong and secure America. I think I'm as conservative as anybody. In fact, half the time I get in trouble for being too conservative. So I don't think that's a label that anybody's going to be able to throw on me, that I'm not conservative enough if they look at my full record as a governor.
All right, Governor Mike Huckabee. Governor, thanks so much for talking with us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Katie.
Now let's go up to Massachusetts, where Mitt Romney is talking to his supporters.
States like Colorado and Montana and California and all over the West. And so we're going to see what kind of numbers come in. We'll add those numbers up and have them bright and early in the morning. My guess is at our home we'll be staying up a little bit later than most of you will. We'll be looking at those numbers. But I have to tell you, there was a special feeling in my heart when I realized that the 3 places Ann and I have lived have all voted for us: Michigan, Massachusetts, and Utah. And we expect a lot more delegates come from a lot of other states as well. But you know, this is fun and exciting to be part of an election scene like this, to have all of you here cheering us on. It's just remarkable to know how much work you've done, how much money you've raised, how many doors you knocked out, how many calls you've made. But you know why we're doing it? We're all doing it for the same reason. That is, we care very deeply about, well, in my case, these folks up here, and in your case, the folks at your home, your kids. For me, I'm very concerned about the kind of America they're going to inherit. I want to make sure that the kind of prosperity we've known, the peace that we've always experienced, the safety that we've always felt, that is part of my kids' life and their kids' life and theirs indeed as well. And I recognize that that doesn't just happen. You see, those that brought this to us paid a very heavy price to buy our peace. They built a strong military that was without question the most capable in the world. They built a strong economy that surpassed anybody's in the world. And they also gave to us
while Mitt Romney talks to his supporters about races to come and the races he's won so far, naming Michigan, Massachusetts, and Utah, 3 states which he lives, CBS News can now project that Mitt Romney is the winner in the caucus state of North Dakota, 23 delegates at stake. Again, very important to have a strong, on-the-ground organization. Money helps a great deal when it comes to these caucuses, and apparently it served Mitt Romney well in that state. Nicole Wallace is a Republican strategist and a CBS News analyst. And Nicole, this is fitting in nicely with Mitt Romney's strategy. He's targeted several states, and he's shooting for 400 delegates tonight. Do you think he can still pull it off?
I don't know. Mitt Romney likes to talk about these contests in terms of the color medal he's winning. And at this point, I think the story of the night is that he's taking home a whole lot of bronze medals. If you look at some of these contests that we've projected winners in already, it's a 1-2 race in Oklahoma, Alabama, and Arkansas. And that 1 and 2 are John McCain and Mike Huckabee. So I think we need to watch Missouri and Tennessee. And if those turn out to be 1-2 races between Mike Huckabee and John McCain, or John McCain and Mike Huckabee, this is a very bad night for Mitt Romney.
So do you think it's over for the former governor of Massachusetts? He sounds like he's in it for the long haul, and he is definitely the eternal optimist.
Well, he said he's so proud that he's won in the 3 states where he has lived, but the only other state that he's won tonight where he didn't live is North Dakota. Now, he did well there, and that's a good pickup for him. He's got to do something in California. He has a chance to do something in Tennessee, but I think Huckabee's going to be a factor there. He has a chance to do something in Missouri, but he needs to do something. I mean, he needs to get something done here.
Can he make up for some of these third-place showings, Jeff, with a strong showing in California?
California is a magical place for politicians because it's the biggest state. It's a conservative state for Republicans, despite Governor Schwarzenegger. He has a real shot there. And looking down the road March 4th, I know we're projecting, but Texas and Ohio are states where he could do well if he can make the rationale. And the rationale's got to be, I'm the real conservative choice. He's got to prove it in California and may have to prove it in Missouri as well.
But he hasn't done that yet. So far, Huckabee has stolen his thunder in all these places where he hoped to say, I'm the conservative standard bearer.
And there are still a few states left to project, and Mitt Romney has focused on some of those states, including Colorado, Montana, and Alaska. So he's holding out for those as well.
You got it. And I still think that at the end of the night, or maybe it'll be in the morning, if he hasn't won California, his argument is very weak.
All right. All right. And we'll be back with more on this Super Tuesday right after this.
Enterprise, I'm at the repair shop, and I need to rent a car.
At Enterprise, we'll arrange to pick you up free and get you on your way.
Nice save, Mom. Go.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Keeping power flowing to thousands of homes and businesses, Paul is a formidable man, but no match for something smaller than a spark. It was a clot. If you've been hospitalized with heart-related chest pain or had a heart attack, what doctors call ACS, chances are you've had a clot too. But now Paul's on Plavix. Plavix, taken with other heart medicines, helps provide greater protection against heart attack or stroke than other heart medicines alone by helping keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you should not use Plavix. When taking Plavix alone or with some other medicines, including aspirin, the risk of bleeding may increase, so tell your doctor before planning surgery. And always talk to your doctor before taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix, especially if you've had a stroke. If you develop fever, unexplained weakness, or confusion, tell your doctor promptly, as these may be signs of a rare but potentially life-threatening condition called TTP, which has been reported rarely, sometimes in less than 2 weeks after starting therapy. Other rare but serious side effects may occur.
Ask your doctor about Plavix today, because you're no match for a dangerous clot. If you take Plavix with other heart medicines, continuing to do so will help increase your protection against a future heart attack or stroke beyond your other heart medicines alone. You may be feeling better, but your risk never goes away. Help stay protected. Stay with Plavix.
Now I create my own Capital One credit card. Set rewards to cash back.
Yes, master.
And a low interest rate.
Oh, and I want that photo of me and aspirin.
Yes, that's it. Now hit the switch! It's alive!
No, it's not.
Well, not literally. It's not.
Introducing Capital One Card Lab. Customize your card by choosing your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
Now the heartburn-stopping strength of Zantac also comes with a refreshing hint of cool mint. New maximum strength Zantac 150 Cool Mint tablets. Heartburn? Attack it. Zantac.
We're never gonna go to sleep.
When mucus keeps your child up at night, you need new Mucinex Mini Melts Cough, the great tasting way to break up mucus and quiet coughing.
Mini Melts?
New Mucinex Mini Melts Cough. Mucinex in, mucus out.
A severed finger grows back. A heart created by an inkjet printer. Growing miracles. The secrets of regenerative medicine. Tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
In a split second, everything changed.
The world we knew does not exist anymore.
Jericho was one of the towns that survived. Now, the rebuilding of a nation and a battle to find the truth.
I have evidence that could expose the whole cover-up.
Will change history.
God bless the Allied States of America.
Jericho, The Return, CBS next Tuesday.
Back now, continuing our special Super Tuesday coverage. After months of listening to the pundits, the pollsters, and the prognosticators, the voters are finally having their say. And here's what they're saying tonight. Right now, if you take a look at the boards, John McCain has 244 delegates that he has won. Tonight, Mitt Romney, 45. Mike Huckabee, a surprising second place showing with 48 delegates. When it comes to the Democrats, currently Hillary Clinton has 320, Barack Obama 272. Some key races remain, especially some states with heavy Hispanic populations. New Mexico, 42% of the population of that state is Hispanic. Arizona, 25%. California, 32%. Hillary Clinton has been doing well with Hispanics, not only in the state of New Jersey, but also has done well previously in Nevada and Florida. Anthony Mason has some polling data on how Hispanics are voting today, which should help us predict what may happen in some of these western states.
Yeah, Katie, Hillary's strength is holding up with Hispanics, and it's holding up across the board. Overall, she's taking the Hispanic vote with a 60% victory here. The interesting thing here is some people thought that Ted Kennedy's endorsement of Barack Obama might allow him to dent her Hispanic support. Doesn't seem to have happened, and there's no gender gap either. Among Hispanic voters under 30 years old, Hillary has won 60% of the vote there. Among Hispanic voters over 60 years old, she's also won convincingly with 66% there. Also interesting to note, Barack Obama has won white males today. He's won black males, but Hillary has won Hispanic males. Katie?
All right. Thank you very much, Anthony. Scott Pelley has been digging down into that data concerning Hispanic voters. What can you tell us?
Well, Barack Obama would certainly like to connect with Hispanics. The data tells us tonight that he's doing a little bit better, but he hasn't closed the deal yet. Let's look at Arizona. First of all, Hillary Clinton in Arizona carries Hispanics 53% to 44%, and then jumping over to New Mexico, where Hispanics make up about half the population there, Hillary Clinton again winning Hispanics handily. Back in January during the Nevada contest, Obama got 26% of Hispanics, so he's doing a little bit better, Katie, but he hasn't closed the deal.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. We have to go to a commercial, but very quickly, can you explain to viewers why Hispanics are so attracted to Hillary Clinton?
Well, there's just been sort of a historic divide. Hispanics tend not to vote for African Americans, and it's just been true for a long, long time, and she has had a lot of support in the Hispanic community.
Plus, Jeff, middle-class Hispanics had an unprecedented amount of prosperity during the Clinton years.
They've had that in the Clinton years, and I'll show you something in 20 seconds with this telestrator. In Los Angeles, heavy, obviously Hispanic population. Mayor Villaraigosa, the first Hispanic mayor of Los Angeles, throwing his entire political machine behind Hillary Clinton. They are counting on that to have an enormous effect in tonight's California voting.
All right, we're going to be talking about California a little bit more, but first we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back right after this.
Introducing the all-new 268 horsepower Accord, the most powerful Accord ever. Because making the perfect car isn't just about the road, but rather everything beyond it. The all-new Accord from Honda.
You know what I think? What? Heaven must be missing a squirrel.
Tell someone you love them this Valentine's Day with the seductive Samsung Blackjack 2, the beautiful new LG Shine, or simply stunning BlackBerry Curve. All red hot, only at AT&T, and only $99.99.
Switch your old dandruff shampoo to one that's clearly different. New Selsun Blue Naturals. Clearly stops flakes and itch.
So soft.
Clearly gentle with vitamins and botanicals. New Selsun Blue Naturals.
The difference is clear.
Buy it today. No outlaw was more famous. No man was more dangerous. Nominated for 2 Academy Awards, including Best Supporting Actor. The Assassination of Jesse James. Buy it today on Blu-ray High Def and DVD.
While America's oil and natural gas industry earns less than many others, we've reinvested more than $1 trillion since 1992. Part of an ongoing commitment using advanced technology to find new sources of energy while protecting our environment. We'll need 50% more oil and natural gas by 2030, and we're working to ensure reliable supplies of these vital resources to keep America going strong. Log on to learn more from the people who bring you oil and natural gas.
Groove into your rhythm. Turn off your worries, turn on fun, 'cause two is better than just one. Let's go out back tonight.
Let go this Valentine's Day. Go out back, where fresh ahi tuna is seasoned and seared. The salmon tender, the steaks thick and juicy. Bring your Valentine, forget your worries.
Let's go out back tonight.
This Valentine's, let go.
Life is better when together.
Go out back.
You see Survivor last night? I'd have taken that dude down.
They should put me on that show.
You could make it on Survivor. Be careful what you wish for. 10 superfans take on the all-time returning favorites. The new Survivor premieres CBS Thursday at 8.
What's the most endangered species in South Florida? Some say it's the middle class.
Tonight, an in-depth look at the latest trouble in paradise. What's driving people to leave the state? Next at 11.
And we are back. All our folks working hard at CBS News election headquarters here in New York. And CBS News now estimates, no huge surprise, John McCain is the projected winner in his state of Arizona. He's been a senator there for an awfully long time. He won among older voters. He did not, though, interestingly enough, win among conservatives in his own state. Many of them are upset with his comprehensive immigration reform bill, which he co-sponsored with Senator Ted Kennedy. Those people who felt strongly about immigration gave their support to Mitt Romney. Meanwhile, Jeff Greenfield has been talking about the fact that it's like somebody rising from the dead with John McCain's candidacy.
We should take a moment and realize what we're talking about. Lazarus might be his middle name. Last summer, his campaign imploded, the staff left, he was left with no money. He retreated to New Hampshire on a stripped-down version of the Straight Talk Express, which was something out of the grapes of wrath. He stood at 7% in the polls 2 months ago, and now appears to be in a position to be, if not the putative nominee, well on his way to being the unchallenged front runner. It is a comeback about as remarkable as anything we've seen in modern politics, I think.
would say so.
And
I can't
Bob,
remember anything quite like this.
You've mentioned before that some people are unsure if John McCain feels really comfortable in a front-runner position because he's such a maverick.
Well, he is, and he's also very superstitious, you know, and he doesn't even like to confirm that he's the front-runner. He says, well, I guess I am, but it's been kind of interesting to watch him and how he's dealing with it. I think John McCain, in some ways, is surprised that he's in the place he is tonight. He's pleasantly surprised, but I think he would tell you, in the heart of hearts, he too is a little surprised.
I asked him actually a couple months ago, do you have to be hanging from a cliff in order to be at your best? And he laughed and said, isn't this stupid? I think I might. Which might tell us what we have to watch for in the weeks and months ahead. Can he stand prosperity? We've never seen him in this position.
Because he's going to be very close here. He's going to come out of this, depending on what happens in California, of course, because that's the big deal tonight. He's going to be very close to wrapping this thing up. It's going to be a while on the Democratic side, but he's going to be in a very good position.
And Bob, speaking of Democrats, Hillary Clinton is working the crowd right now in New York City. She is expected to speak to her supporters. Looks like she's getting ready to do so as they cheer her on. She's had some victories tonight and some disappointments, particularly in next-door neighbor, Connecticut. Let's listen.
You know, tonight we are hearing the voices of people across America. People of all ages, of all colors, all faiths, and all walks of life. People on the day shift, the night shift, the late shift with the crying baby. Moms and dads who want a better world for our children. Young people who deserve a world of opportunity. All those who aren't in the headlines but have always written America's story. After 7 years of a president who listens only to the special interests, you're ready for a president who brings your voice, your values, and your dreams to your White House. You voted not just to make history, but to remake America. People in America, Samoa, Arkansas, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and the great state of New York.
Smiling Hillary Clinton talking to supporters tonight. Anthony Mason has some exit polling information that might give us an idea of why Hillary Clinton did what she did tonight.
Yeah, Katie, we've talked a lot about how Hillary's success very often depends on how she does with women. Well, generally, she's done very well with women today. She's taken white women convincingly by 20%, with 58% of the white female vote. Her one weak spot is among black females. This is a group she used to have strength in, but it's clearly eroded. Obama took almost 80% of the black women vote, but she's come back amongst Hispanic women. There she wins even more convincingly, 65% of the vote. So Hillary's strength today continues to be with women, except among blacks, Katie.
And I'm curious, have you seen an age difference? Because she's done better with older women, while Barack Obama's done better with women 30 and under.
That's consistent. The one place that doesn't occur, that gender gap isn't there, is among Hispanics, where she wins both the young and the old.
Or the age gap, anyway.
Yes.
All right, Anthony Mason. Anthony, thanks so much. And we'll be back with much more Super Tuesday coverage from CBS News election headquarters here in New York after these messages.
Okay, who knows another word for water?
H2O.
Smart, but do you know what a fuel cell vehicle like the Chevy Equinox runs on?
Hydrogen.
Very smart. Now guess how much gas it uses.
Nothing.
Ah, brilliant. Now, if exhaust comes out of a gas engine, what comes out of a fuel cell engine? H2O.
Cool.
Chevy, from gas-friendly to gas-free. That's an American revolution.
We'd like a new home, but we need to get out from under this one first.
Ready to sell? It's time for RE/MAX. RE/MAX agents have the experience to get the job done in today's market. So when you're ready to sell, or buy, or both, why settle for anyone else? Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
CSI New York is all new and all weird with killer toilets. Spacemen?
Houston, we have a problem.
New CSI New York, CBS Wednesday.
Dave's all new with Matthew McConaughey, Sheryl Crow, and Lyle the Intern tonight.
Well, it's been an exciting Super Tuesday so far, but the night is young. Many states still have not been projected yet, but we're going to get some quick closing thoughts from some of our experts here. Joe Trippi, Democratic strategist, what do you say?
Katie, it's got to be that Hillary's done everything she's needed to do so far tonight, except for that small blemish in Connecticut, and it's women that are keeping her in the game right now.
Nicole Wallace, what about you on the Republican side?
Mike Huckabee has had a great night, and tomorrow morning John McCain is going to have to wake up and think about how he beat him in the remaining contest in this Republican primary.
All right, Nicole, thanks to you. Jeff Greenfield, where does this leave us in your view?
Hillary survives another near-death experience. Reports of her death were exaggerated, and we live on to fight another day. An extended Democratic primary is ahead of us.
You're worried about identity politics, aren't you, here?
I think there's some bad stuff possibly for the Democratic Party with all the talk about gender and race and blacks and Hispanics. There's a lot of people that leaves out, and the Democrats have not done well with that left-out group in elections past.
It may be hard to be the unifying candidate with so many disparate groups. And Bob?
I think that John McCain is on his way to getting the nomination. He got 32% of the delegates he needed for the nomination tonight. I think it's a very good night for John McCain.
And do you think Mitt Romney's still in the game?
Well, I think he has enough money to stay as long as he wants to, but where does he go from here?
All right, we'll see. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much, and thanks to all my colleagues here at CBS News for all their help tonight. That is our coverage of Super Tuesday. There will be more returns and analysis on your late local news and on this CBS station, then first thing tomorrow on the early show and on the CBS Evening News. I'm Katie Couric. Good night.
On the new Survivor, 10 fans challenge 10 all-time favorites head-to-head.
Be careful what you wish for.
The new Survivor premieres CBS Thursday at 8, 7 Central.
Now at 11, breaking news out of the sports world. Miami Heat star Shaquille O'Neal could soon be off the team.
Also, the Super Tuesday showdown, and what we're seeing so far tonight is a nail-biter.
Plus, the beautiful Miami skyline, but it is changing by the hour. Tonight, we begin a special series looking at the disappearing middle class. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shannon Horing.
And I'm Antonio Mora. CBS 4 News Tonight is next.
It's so important to make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one.
The 300 horsepower Acura MDX with super handling all-wheel drive. How you see the road depends on what you're driving.
Make just one someone happy. And you.
Acura Advance.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2008 Acura MDX for well-qualified customers.
City Furniture has the best selection of Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. A queen set is just $4.99. Comfort choices include firm, plush, and pillow top models all in stock at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, City Furniture now offers same-day delivery, 7 days a week, and no payments for 1 full year.
Your heart. Words cannot express. The Heart Institute at Florida Medical Center. Log on to cbs4.com/yourheart.
I'm Mario Morgado, and if you don't buy your truck at Brickell Motors, you're going to pay too much.
Brickell has GMC Sierras starting as low as $14,995, and hot leases on cool trucks like the Acadia from only $359 a month and the Yukon from only $399 a month.
Brickell Motors, your South Florida truck stop, where you get over $7,000 in additional discounts, and the Brickell Plus, with over $3,000 in gas savings and service coupons.
Brickell Motors, Southwest 8th Street and 7th Avenue, Miami. Visit brickellmotors.com for details.
Brickell Motors, where the owners are always in.
From Miami-Dade, Broward, and the Keys, this is South Florida's CBS 4 News.
Good evening, I'm Antonio Mora.
And I'm Shannon Horry. The big story tonight, the Super Tuesday Showdown.
All the polls from coast to coast are closed, and we are starting to get an idea of who's pulling ahead.
Take a look at what's at stake. 24 states held contests tonight, and most have already declared winners. For the Democrats, states projected as a win for Senator Hillary Clinton will be shown here in lavender, and those for Senator Barack Obama shown in blue. Some of the states Clinton has claimed include her home state of New York, as well as Arkansas, where she was First Lady for more than a decade, and Massachusetts. Obama has claimed his home state of Illinois, Alabama, Delaware, and Utah. They're waiting on the result of the biggest prize of them all, California.
Let's take a look at the Republican contest. The states won by Governor Mitt Romney are in red, Senator John McCain's are in pink, and Governor Mike Huckabee's in purple. McCain is the big winner so far, taking some of the biggest prizes, among them New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Romney got a big win in his home state of Massachusetts, and as expected, he also took Utah. Huckabee,